Have you ever felt like life is spiraling out of control? Like you're fighting a never-ending battle with yourself, with the world, with the circumstances that seem to keep pushing you down no matter how hard you try? Imagine waking up every day, overwhelmed by everything that's going wrong. You know the feeling. Stress, anxiety, fear of failure, fear of judgment, these are emotions we all experience. But, what if I told you that the secret to transforming all of this lies in a single Stoic quote? What if I told you that by changing the way you think, you can change the entire trajectory of your life? Today, I'm going to share a Stoic quote that will make you question everything you thought you knew about your struggles, your happiness, and your control over life. And by the end of this video, I believe you'll have a new understanding of your power to navigate life's challenges, no matter what they may be. The quote I'm about to share is from one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius. He said, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." This quote, simple yet profound, holds the key to unlocking your inner strength. If you're ready to dive deep and learn how this quote can completely transform how you see life, stick with me. By the end, you'll see your struggles in a whole new light. Let me take you back to a time when I was facing some of the toughest moments of my life. I was lost, overwhelmed, and struggling with everything I thought I knew about the world. It was a time when I felt like I was stuck in a pit of negativity, like I had no way out. Every day felt like I was pushing a boulder uphill, only for it to roll back down. I was dealing with personal challenges, professional setbacks, and emotional exhaustion. It seemed like no matter how hard I worked or how much I tried to control things, the world kept pushing back. It was incredibly frustrating, and I couldn't see a way out. I was angry at the people around me, frustrated with my lack of progress, and lost in my own confusion. But then, something happened. I stumbled upon a quote by Marcus Aurelius that completely shifted my perspective. "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." At first, it didn't hit me all at once. I read it, let it sit for a while, and then came back to it again. And that's when it finally struck me like a bolt of lightning. For all this time, I had been focusing on things I couldn't control. I had been giving so much of my energy to trying to control external circumstances, to changing what other people thought, to influencing situations I had no real power over. But Marcus Aurelius, this Stoic sage, was telling me something completely different. He was telling me that the true power lies not in controlling the outside world, but in controlling my thoughts and responses to it. And that realization was the turning point. Suddenly, everything shifted. The first part of the quote, "The universe is change," speaks to a fundamental truth of life: everything is in a constant state of flux. Change is inevitable. Nothing stays the same: relationships, careers, health, and even the world around us. The seasons change, people come and go, technology advances, and circumstances shift. But here's where most people get stuck. We tend to fight change. We resist it. We wish things would stay the same because change is uncomfortable and unpredictable. But in reality, change is the only constant we can rely on. Fighting it is like swimming against the current: it drains you, exhausts you, and leaves you feeling defeated. What if instead of resisting change, we learned to flow with it? What if we embraced change as an opportunity for growth, for new experiences, for better versions of ourselves? This is where Stoicism shines. The Stoics understood that resisting change only leads to frustration. Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic philosophers taught us that we should not be afraid of change, we should learn how to accept it, adapt to it, and find strength in our ability to respond to it. The second part of the quote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it," is where the real magic happens. This is the part that really changed the way I saw my life. Marcus Aurelius is telling us that it's not the external world that defines us, it's the way we think about the world, the way we perceive and respond to what happens to us. You see, our thoughts shape our reality. How we interpret events, how we react to circumstances, how we choose to view obstacles, all of these things shape our experience of life. And the best part is, we have control over our thoughts. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you're faced with a major setback in your life. Maybe you didn't get the promotion you wanted, or you're dealing with a difficult breakup, or maybe things just aren't going as planned. Your immediate reaction might be frustration, anger, or hopelessness. You might feel like everything is falling apart and that there's nothing you can do to fix it. But what if you paused for a moment and chose to see things differently? What if you saw the setback as an opportunity to learn, to grow, or to pivot in a new direction? What if you chose to believe that this setback was not the end, but rather a redirection towards something better? That's the essence of Stoicism, the ability to change your perception and reclaim your power. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. So, how do you apply this powerful Stoic wisdom to your own life? How do you shift your thoughts and change the way you see the world? Here are some practical steps. 1. Recognize what you can and can't control. The first step is understanding that there are things beyond your control, other people's actions, the weather, global events, and so on. But the one thing you can always control is your response. When you can identify what's out of your control and let go of it, you'll free yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. 2. Shift your focus to what you can control. Instead of worrying about the future or lamenting the past, focus on what you can control in the present moment. This could be your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. When you take responsibility for what you can control, you empower yourself to create the life you want. 3. Embrace change as an opportunity. Change can be uncomfortable, but it's also an opportunity for growth. Instead of resisting change, learn to see it as a chance to evolve, to adapt, and to improve. Change might be hard, but it's also where transformation happens. 4. Practice gratitude and mindfulness. Instead of focusing on what you don't have or what's going wrong, practice gratitude for what you do have. Mindfulness helps you stay grounded in the present moment, rather than getting lost in negative thoughts about the future. 5. Let go of attachment to outcomes. Often, we tie our happiness and sense of self-worth to external outcomes. But Stoicism teaches us that true happiness comes from within. By letting go of attachment to specific outcomes, we can find peace regardless of what happens. Let's now dive even deeper into emotional resilience and how the Stoics mastered the art of navigating life's challenges without losing their peace of mind. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep moving forward despite adversity. Stoicism offers a powerful framework for building this kind of resilience by focusing on internal control over emotional reactions. One powerful Stoic practice is known as premeditation malorum, the premeditation of evils. It's the practice of imagining the worst-case scenarios that could happen and preparing yourself mentally for them. While it might sound morbid, the purpose is to reduce the shock when adversity strikes, allowing you to meet life's challenges with a calm mind. When we expect challenges, we aren't caught off guard by them. Instead of fearing the worst, we acknowledge that difficulties are a natural part of life, and we're ready to face them with equanimity. By preparing ourselves mentally, we can accept challenges with grace rather than resistance. This practice strengthens our emotional resilience, making it easier to remain composed even when life tests us. Another Stoic technique to build resilience is practicing amor fati, the love of fate. This is about learning to embrace whatever comes our way, no matter how unpleasant it might seem. It's not about passively accepting hardships but actively choosing to love whatever life throws at us because, in the end, everything is part of the grand, unfolding story of our lives. When you embrace your fate, every triumph and every trial, you stop seeing life as something happening to you and start seeing it as something happening for you. This mindset shifts you from feeling like a victim to feeling like a protagonist in your own story. Now that you've heard this Stoic wisdom, I want you to reflect on your own life. Are you letting the external world dictate your happiness? Are you focusing on things you can't control, or are you shifting your thoughts to what you can control? The quote from Marcus Aurelius is a reminder that life is not defined by what happens to us, it's defined by how we choose to think about what happens to us. We can't control the world around us, but we can control the way we respond to it. By shifting our thoughts, we can transform our lives. So, I challenge you, starting today, choose to embrace change. Choose to control your thoughts. Choose to see setbacks as opportunities. And most importantly, choose to live a life that's guided by Stoic wisdom. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What's one thing you're going to change in the way you think? Share your reflections, and don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe to The Modern Stoic for more life-changing wisdom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.